Hello ladies and gentlemen, and welcome back to the channel. Today we're on the PTS and we're going to be checking out the two new events in Fallout 76. So let's crack on with it. So this is the first event and it is going to be Sinkhole Solutions. And this is a pretty fun one. You're going to be blasting scorpions and more scorpions. And you're also going to have to close down some holes, which we'll see here soon. I tried to get a nice shot, and then for some reason it just teleported me. I don't know, Fallout things, I guess. Some weird stuff going on. Some rad scorpion meat just floating around. And we're also in the middle of a sandstorm, which is pretty neat, actually. I'm not gonna lie. It's pretty neat. I don't know what those damage numbers were there. But yeah, so I'm gonna sit here. I'm gonna wait and start it here in a moment. So here I activate the Stomper, and the Stomper is actually a fairly big piece of equipment here to stomp and get the scorpions out. You can see now for the thing we have to enter the lake, which is this sort of area in front of us. And what's going to happen is you're going to get waves of scorpions to eliminate, and there's going to be a fair amount of them. I'm going to be using the Gauss shotgun here initially. Has a good decent amount of spread and travel time just due to the explosive nature, and you're shooting pellets, so many pellets that explode on impact, and it does a pretty decent amount of damage actually. One thing I've noticed, and you're going to see this a little bit later, is that I don't know if it's just me. Maybe I got to go back on live and just check stuff out, but I'm feeling like I'm doing a significant amount more damage just in general on the test server. Maybe that's just a me thing. I've shot with this bow here for up to like 16,000 damage. It was the highest I've seen, which was insane. I haven't been able to do it again, but I don't understand necessarily what is going on, because I never get that kind of a number on the live server. But maybe that's just me. Maybe I'm just overthinking things and I don't really focus too much or remember too much of the damage numbers. So we're going to be using this bow for the event now, and this has explosive explosion on it, as well as the arrows are explosive to maximize the amount of boom this thing does. And it's quite a bit of boom. I think we can get about 800 damage with the explosion, and some of these crits are like 6 to 11,000 damage on top of that. So once I start aiming for the head, but this guy's a really good spread, plus the arrows bounce, so you can sort of fire it in a general direction, and as long as you have the perk cards like Grenadier and Demolition Expert, you can really reap the rewards of just spamming this. And one thing I actually noticed using a bow like this is that it actually annihilates a lot of the stuff really quickly, and because of that I'm debating if I should be using it during events or not, because some people won't get tags, but I guess some people just don't really care about you getting a tag either. So sometimes I don't know, it's a weird thing. It's just weird. You saw that 9,300 damage. These things are ridiculous. Okay, so this part, then there's multiple. We actually just missed one, or I didn't talk about it. We have to shoot these holes that the scorpions are coming out from, and you basically just rinse and repeat that for this event. So you come here, you hit the thumper, and then you kill a wave of scorpions, destroy their dens, kill another wave of scorpions, destroy their dens, sort of vibe, and that's it. And then there's going to be a bunch of sort of legendaries at the end, which you'll see here shortly. But let me know what you guys think of the PTS and this event in the comments down below, and what you guys think overall with this new upcoming fairly large update. It is quite nice to not have some mega combat rebalancing changes coming in, and I feel like there needs to be a little bit of love to certain weapons in the heavy category, but we won't go into that in this video. So this is the final wave, and we basically just did another round of clearing out some scorpions and the nests. And here we've got some legendaries and some glowing ones here. All I'm going to try and do here is just get a tag on some of these. They've got enough HP for me to actually hit them. And I'm just going to let other people just get some tags themselves. And I'm going to fire over there as well. I'm not even really going to try and just try and get some tag damage in there. A little bit of chip damage just so everyone has time to get a piece of the loot. The boss is down there as well, so I'm going to whip out the old Gauss shotgun. The DPS of this thing is pretty nice, as you can see there, which just absolutely hammered that thing down into the ground. So that was Sinkholes Solutions, and I personally enjoyed it. It'll be probably one that I throw into the mix of things that I do in terms of my events. So this is the next event, and it's called Gearing Up, and this is definitely one of the cooler events just period in Fallout 76. As the lore behind it is, you're going to be talking to this Beastmaster to start the event, and the whole thing you're doing here is you armoring up a tamed Deathclaw, and then you're sort of putting it through its paces in combat. Now you can't let the Deathclaw fall or die. It does have a HP bar and you can heal it, and in this event there is a plethora of things that will come. So having a good tag weapon, a good explosive weapon is really nice for this. And if you just don't have a lot of people, a good AoE weapon is super handy for this event, and you're going to see why here. There's just quite a lot of stuff that comes. So there are a few stages to this event. The first stage is actually gearing up the Deathclaw, and this is actually the first time I've done this event, and I thought it was a good showcase because I got you know, all the bits and pieces. I got to show all the bits and pieces here, not just turn up and everything's half dead. And so this initial piece, we're just going to be slaying stuff, pretty standard stuff. And then now we have to go and gather some barrels and scrap metal for the Deathclaw. So I'm actually trying to work out, like, where do I have to go? What do I have to do? And you can look at all this, the packs on the ground are insane. And there it is. So that this barrel here, sturdy scrap metal, you want to be collecting those, and they're all over the place. And that's pretty much all I could find out. There might be more stuff, but there it is again, that sort of yellow container. And so I'm going to run around and just start collecting those. And you hand those in. You're going to need 40 of them in total. So everyone's got to put in a little bit of elbow grease, or you can just let, you know, a couple of the low levels, like all the high levels do it. Which I could see happening in the future. But yes, you got to grab these. You gear up the Deathclaw somehow. I don't know if it dresses itself or if someone's in there with it in a box, but you gear it up, armor it up, and you get this really cool animation, which we will see when it leaves. And so begins the carnage, as you're supposed to be putting the Deathclaw through its paces in combat. And the whole purpose of this is there is a sort of governing entity called the Rust King, I believe, in this part of the wasteland, and he has a sort of, I don't want to say tournament, but he uses these Deathclaws to sort of have a gladiators battle, I think is the lore. I could be wrong, could be completely wrong, but I think that's what it is. So that's the point. So here we're supposed to do some events, riling it up. He's getting armored up. The Deathclaw is inside this box, and we wait for it to be unleashed upon our enemy. And here it comes. Really cool, and I love it when it's all armored up like that. It looks really cool. And so begins the carnage. So find a spot, a good vantage point if you can, and then just start letting it rip. I'm gonna switch over to the explosive bow because it's an explosive bow. Let's just be honest, they're pretty OP, and we're gonna start getting this stuff done, and giving everything the beans. And so you're just gonna go around and pretty much just keep it safe, kill stuff. And it is handy. You can see under my quest log on the right side, protect the armored Deathclaw under the event gearing up. And you can see that white bar. That white bar is actually, it's a health bar. And so you want to keep that up. And you will find that people are, you know, going around healing, because it can actually take a significant amount of damage rather quickly if you're not watching it. And it does get swamped. You will end up seeing me actually spamming arrows around it, because the AI that you're supposed to be destroying just literally beeline pretty much directly for the Deathclaw. And you can see that white bar is slowly just going down and down and down. I've done a couple of these now, and I've never had it die on me, but I can definitely see it happen. So now the health has actually gone back up, and I think someone's got a flamethrower out and they're healing it. Yeah, I think someone does have either a cremator or some sort of flame weapon, and is keeping it health up, which is obviously handy dandy. Now I just want to go back to the bow. You can see the amount of damage this thing is just pumping out is actually pretty insane numbers. Is there going to be another rebalance? I don't know, but these numbers are insane. And it's just crazy to think that the bow went from just a weapon that very few people, like the role players, would use, to an absolutely monstrous beast on the battlefield that absolutely destroys everything. It is just crazy to me. It's actually just crazy to me. So, talking about this event, I would say that this event is definitely my favorite of the two, mainly because I think lore-wise it is really cool, and I'm wondering if in the future we could become Beastmasters ourselves. I doubt it, just mainly due to Fallout Spaghetti Code, but who knows, maybe in the future we might be able to be our own Beastmasters and send our own Deathclaws or whatever creatures you can get into battle for us, and we can armor them up and get them ready for combat. I think that would be a pretty cool thing. You know, they could even throw in some skins with that too and reap the rewards of that. But I think that would be a pretty cool addition, but might require a lot of work in the code. Let me know in the comments down below what you guys think of that. So this is the next tier, next stage, next part, next phase, whatever you want to call it, of this event. And you basically moved up, and now we're killing Snallygus. There's a lot of them. We're still using the explosive bow, just giving everything to beans. And this is pretty much it. So I might just have some music playing, and I'll roll through this part of the event a little bit, and then I'll catch you guys for the third phase. Now we're on the final part of the event, and as per usual, it's gonna be some legendaries and a humongous Deathclaw. Let me tame that one. Why are we taming that one? I mean, it's a beast. Look at the size of it. So we're just gonna let it rip with the Gauss shotgun here, just getting as much damage as we can. We've got some heavy hitters in this group of us out here, so, and someone was doing some cryo damage there too, which is nice to see. I always love seeing cryo out on the field, and everything's dead just like that. Boom, done. So that's 3 legendaries you can get at the end of this, and a plethora of legendaries also from the other event. And then you can also farm legendaries while you're waiting for events like this for more legendaries through the bounty hunting system. So these new events and stuff, definitely great for legendaries. And that's going to conclude this video. The 2 new events, I think, are a much needed thing in Fallout 76. They have a plethora of stuff to blow up, lots of ways to get XP, huge amounts of loot, and people love that. I love that. You guys love that. Let's just all be honest here. And so this is a good thing, and I like the direction that Bethesda are heading. With that all out the way, cheers all for joining me. Thanks all for watching, and I'm going to catch you all on the next one.